So yesterday I've given some requirements. So once again I'm going to repeat that. See, basically if you want to install Pega in your systems, there are two editions are there. One is personal edition or home edition, and another one is enterprise edition. See, application means everywhere it will be same. But what is the difference between personal and enterprise edition is, see, personal edition is nothing but a home edition. We can install in our PCs. That is in your systems and all you can install. And what is enterprise edition means, if you want to install the setup that is in the real time in companies and all, so they'll be using enterprise edition. So suppose see, personal edition is single user access. That is, if you install in your system, only you can access. But enterprise edition is a multi-user. Like if you install the means application is configured in the server in the real time. That is in any company. So all the people will be connecting to the same server. No need to install individually in every system. So directly they can access the application. So based on the access given to them, so or based on the URL or IP address given to them, so they can directly access the application. So but personal edition means, so you have to separately install in each system, so it is a single user. So in order to practice and in order to use the application, if you want to install in your systems or laptops, so the edition you'll be getting is personal edition, but application look and feel options everything is same. And apart from that, so what are the other differences in enterprise server? They will get access to the server and database based on their choice. Suppose Pega systems will give the license and accordingly they can select the database and server. But in personal edition, you don't have a choice to choose database and server. You'll be getting a default database and default server. Just you have to use that one. So there is no choice to choose database and server in the personal edition. So directly you'll be getting one default database and default server. You have to use that option. So what is the default database and server you'll be getting? I'll discuss. So before that, once again quickly we'll see the requirements. So if you want to install Pega in your systems, so any processor it will support, and 64-bit operating system. So this is required. See, if you're having 32-bit means compulsory we need to upgrade to 64-bit, we have to upgrade. And we need 4 GB RAM and 10 GB free space in any drive, like in C drive or some other partitions. If we have in any drive, 10 GB free space is required in your hard disk, and any latest version browser it will support. Okay. So I think these are the common requirements in every system you may get. So without any particular special configuration or without any high-end configuration, anyone can install Pega in their systems. I think everybody know how to check the system configuration. If you right click on your computer icon, you can see the requirements of your system. Okay. And when you install this Pega package, so Pega comes with different things. It will install Java as part of Pega setup, and one database server and PRPC. See here, database and server you will be getting as PostgreSQL is the default database, and server is Tomcat is the default server. So in most of the personal editions, you'll be getting this database and this server. And common things are Java and PRPC. Any any version if you install, so Java also get installed in the backend, and the main application is PRPC, Pega Rules Process Commander. So which is a framework application. So this also get installed. So all these things come as one package. Okay, it's complete setup come under one single package here. Okay, and here if anybody using Windows 7, okay, anyone using Windows 7, so before installation, so disable antivirus, and there is some other setting called user account control settings. You have to select as never notify, and only for Windows 7 users. If you are using any Windows latest version or any other Mac operating system, no need to do this setting. Okay, only for the Windows 7 users they need to do this thing, disable antivirus before installation, and change these user account control settings. Okay. And okay, you'll be getting the software file, so I'll be sharing today or tomorrow. So you'll be getting this download file from Google Drive. Okay, so you'll be having the file size will be around 4 to up to 4 GB it will be there. So you have to download that one. See, when you download that, it will save as a zip file. See, generally directly from zip file we cannot start the setup, so you have to extract that file. For example, in my PC, see, generally after downloading you will get this zip file format like this. So you have to extract that one. So when you extract this one, see, don't extract the files individually. So you have to extract to some folder. The same folder will be there, right? So you have to choose this option, extract to folder. You have to choose, so that it will create a folder in the wherever you extracted. So there it will create some folder like this. So with the same name, so all the files will be extracted to some folder. And the thing is, in your system, if extraction is done in download or document or desktop, say after the extraction is done, so move this folder to some directory. See, don't run directly from desktop path or document or download path. It may not read some exe files. So first, after download and after extraction, so copy these folders to some drive in your system. In your system, C drive compulsory will be there in every system. Apart from that, if you have any other partitions, and if space is there in other partitions, means you can copy this folder to some directory. Then if you open this, you can see some files in this. So if you want to start installation, you need to click on this install file. You have to click. Okay. So once again, I'll repeat the process. So you'll be getting this download file. So extract, download that one first of all. So after that, extract the file to some folder, and don't run directly from any of the path like download or desktop or document. It may not install properly. Even if install also, it will fail. Okay, it will not completely install. So copy the file to that folder whatever we extracted. So copy to some directory, that is to C drive or any other drive. Okay. And then, so once this setup is done in your system, where this particular folder is there, open that folder and click on this install file. So there is the install file. Double click on this. So one command prompt will load, and at the same time in the background it is going to load some wizard will load. So within few seconds, and you have to minimize this one. Okay, minimize this command prompt. So minimize that. So this widget will display. So in this widget, just follow the screens. So which I'm showing, you can just follow the screens. So click on next button. So and then here prerequisites already given. Prerequisites means like what are the system requirements and what are the things it is getting installed, that I have given in the document. So the earlier versions in widget option itself they have given, but in present version they didn't give in this widget. So just click on next button. No need to change anything, and you'll get this license agreement. You need to click on accept, and here installation process it will show. See, all the options are selected, but what happens means first it will load all the files, install the server and Java, and then it will install the database, and it will create some desktop shortcuts. So for this setup, after the setup is completed, so desktop shortcuts will be added, and finally it will launch this platform. See, personal edition other thing is it will run on intranet server, that is no need to connect to any external server. So in your system, if you want to start Pega application, or if you want to open Pega application, so we are going to start intranet server, so that will launch automatically after your installation. So these 5 steps will happen automatically, so after starting the installation or after beginning the installation. So here no need to change any of these options, just we need to click on next button. And by default in your system it will take this C drive, it will take. Suppose if you have any other partitions, if you want to install this Pega in some other directory, you can also change this directory. Suppose if you have some D or F drive, and there if you want to install this setup, manually we need to change the directory path. Okay, so automatically in every system it will take it will read as C drive, it is going to read by default. Okay, if you want to change this means you have to change it manually. So suppose if you want to install in C means continue with the next screen and go to the next step. So in the next step you'll get this port configuration, like a where it will automatically assign some port number for the database and server which is it is installed. See, maximum in your systems it will allocate a unique number only to allocate, but when you get this screen, once check the availability, because maybe suppose if you have some other servers or databases installed in your system, Sometimes it may conflict. Mostly it will take unique only, but once you get this screen, check the availability. In my system it will show as not available. The reason is already Pega is running in my server in my system. So when you try to check this port availability, so you may get a error as in my system I will be getting as port is not available. Okay, but if you check in your systems, you should get a port is available. You should get, suppose if you get port is not available, you need to change these both the port numbers you have to change, or which number is not available, you need to change that particular number. So make sure you check this availability. Suppose port is available means you can continue to the next screen. If port is not available, so you have to update the port numbers. So if you, let's once again see. So once you start that install option, so first of all, once this folder is open, so you can see install file, you have to click on that install. Then it will load some window. Actually in the background this command prompt window also will load. You have to minimize that. Then after that this installation wizard will open. In this, just to follow the screen, so you need to click on next button. Then in this license agreement screen you will be getting, so click on accept. Then the next screen will be what are the things it is installing step by step. So here also just click on next button. Then you'll get these directory selection. So if you want to install in by default it will, every system it will take as C. So if you want to continue installing in the C, so you have to keep it. Suppose if you want to install in some other directory, if you have any other partitions in your system, and if you have a free space up to 10 GB, you can also manually change the directory path. Okay, so then if you don't want to change, click on next. Suppose if you get any like security alerts or any firewall alerts, just to click on allow access. Not mandatory for every system, but if you get any such alerts and all, so click on allow access. Then you'll get this port configuration screen. So if you check this port configuration, you should get like this: port is available, both the port numbers must be available. Suppose if you get any number not available, you need to change that number. Suppose if you want to change that, say I have given the numbers below. Suppose if server port is not available, you can give 9090. If database port is not available, you can give any of these port numbers. Okay, so then you need to click on this start button. See, after you click on start, see, depend upon system, your processor and everything and RAM. So this may take from 20 minutes to 1 hour time. Means every system the time may be different. Depend upon the configuration, it may take from 20 minutes to 1 hour time it is going to take. So after you start this, if you click on the start button, so just plug the charger and leave it. So maybe it may compute in 30 minutes. Sometimes it may compute if the system is having high configuration, so within 20 minutes also it will complete, or sometimes it may take also 1 hour time also it may take. So depend upon system to system the time can be vary. So once you click on start button, just you have to just plug the charger and leave it. So finally it will complete all the setup in the background. And if you once this installation is completed, you will be getting this alert message like a rule base load complete. So once you get this message, so it is successfully completed. Okay, suppose if installation failed means, so you'll be getting a message that rule base unsuccessfully completed. That is if there are some cases where installation can fail also, because what are the reasons? Some reasons I'll tell you. Suppose if your OS is like a 32-bit system type, okay, not 64-bit, it may fail. Or if you are trying to install from any desktop or document or download path without copying the file to drive, if you directly try to install from any desktop or document or download, it may fail. Okay, or if you don't have any enough RAM size, only 3 GB RAM is there, it may fail sometimes. So like that. So those simple reasons, if you follow the first two steps and just to continue the instructions, so you can successfully within first means it will install easily only, not a big thing this one. So it will, if you complete the installation, so you'll be getting this message, and at the same time you'll also get the login page displayed like this. So your platform will be started, and at the same time, So you'll get this login page also will be displayed. So up to here, so just after you click on start button, up to here everything will be done automatically. So just we have to wait until the setup is done. Just wait, and so until this screen gets, you have to just wait and check. Okay. So then up to here this installation will complete automatically. So the time can be different in every system, but suppose in any case if the installation fail, so if installation fail means if want to again we have to uninstall and reinstall. Okay. So if once installation fail means, so again we have to remove the instances and then again restart the system and install it again. See whether if it is successfully installed or not installed properly also, desktop shortcuts and one folder will be created in your drive. See if you select C drive means under the C drive it will create a folder called PRPC Personal Edition folder. So after your installation is completed, whether it is successful or unsuccessful, so this folder will be created, PRPC Personal Edition folder. Suppose what are the, see even if it is failed also, some server configuration, Java, basic files and setup will be somewhat it will be configured. So that's why this folder will be created, and in this folder you can see all the files. Okay. So if successful means you can also see this database folder also you can see. If not successful means only 2 to 3 folders only it will generate. So in that case, suppose if it is not successfully done, so in that case, so we have to uninstall Pega and again we have to reinstall. See if you want to uninstall this Pega setup, so the first thing is see whether it is successful or unsuccessful. So this platform, okay, one second here after the port configuration, if you go to this next screen, there is a start button. If you click on start, it will start. Okay. Again, I'm not starting in my application, already setup is there, right? So if you click on start, automatically the setup will complete in your system. Suppose in any case if installation fail, so whether installation success or fail also, you will be getting these three shortcuts. Some desktop shortcuts will be created, and at the same time, in the directory, which directory you have given, so it will create a folder called PRPC Personal Edition folder. So whether it is success or unsuccessful, so this folder and desktop shortcuts will be generated. So what we need to do means, so we have to, suppose if installation is failed, we have to uninstall and reinstall again. So if want to uninstall means, see during installation this window will launch automatically. Okay, so this is called as a startup platform. So this will launch automatically whether successful or unsuccessful. So what we need to do means, so we have to click on shutdown icon. See there are three icons. First of all I'll discuss about the icons. So one is called startup icon, second one is the shutdown icon, and third one is login icon. See Pega here runs on internet server. So whenever you initially during installation means the server platform will automatically start. Okay. So but if you want to shut down that, suppose you want to shut down your PC or laptop, so if you want to close this window, you cannot directly click on close button. So if you want to close it properly, you need to compulsory click on this shutdown icon, you need to click. Okay, don't close directly that window. If you want to shut down that server, you need to click on the shutdown icon. And suppose what is the login icon means, once you if you want to open Pega application, so we need to click on the login icon. So startup icon, shutdown icon and login icon, these are the three icons created after your installation. Startup icon is to when you again shut down and restart your system. If you want to first of all, if you want to log in or open to the Pega application, so without starting the server, if you directly click on login, it will not open. So first we need to start the platform. So we need to click on the startup, and this will take some 2 to 3 minutes time, or up to 5 minutes also maximum it may take. So then after that actually after you click on this, immediately also you can click on login icon. Suppose if you click on login icon, in my system it is already running, so you'll get the login page. It is going to display in some browser in your system at the time. What is the default browser it is set, so in browser it is going to display this screen. So it is the login page. So login credentials and all I'll discuss in the next session. I'm going to discuss. So like that, so these three icons will be created whether installation is success or unsuccess also it will be created. But now suppose if installation is unsuccessful or failed, you have to click on this shutdown icon first, because you need to uninstall the application first. If you want to uninstall, first shut down the server. So you need to click on the shutdown icon. So after that, in your system, this folder will be the red PRPC personalization folder. If you delete the folder, because see, in this folder only, even if it is successful or unsuccessful, so all the files are like a database, Java, script files, temp files, server files, everything will be created in this folder only, because Pega will install as a package. If you want to uninstall again, no need to go to any like a program files and remove separately. So everything will be there under one package. So if you want to delete this completely, delete the folder, everything will be uninstalled. So if uninstall if you want to do, first to shut down the server, then you need to click on this delete the folder, then restart the system again. Next time try the process correctly. Okay, so maybe last time if there is some issue with any of the options which are discussed, so you have to delete the folder, then again so reinstall the application in the correct process. So like that, installation maximum it will be success. Just before doing installation, once document or video you can go through, then start the installation. Suppose if installation is success means, so automatically up to the login page you'll be getting all the screens. Okay, but if anything installation fail means, you don't get this login screen, and the message also you'll be getting as a rule base completed unsuccessfully you may get. Okay, so in that case, you have to then follow the below steps. If you want to uninstall means, click on the shutdown icon in the desktop, and after that, delete the folder PRPC personalization folder in your directory. Then restart the PC again. Follow the same instructions you have to follow. Okay, so that is the installation process, guys. Okay, and the importance of these three icons are: startup is to start the platform, shutdown is to see, suppose in your system if you shut down every day, by end of the day if you shut down, then compulsory you need to click on the shutdown icon. Suppose if you put in some sleep mode or hibernate mode, then just log that one, then no need to shut down every day. Just you have to, this window will be the red command prompt window, just you will minimize that and put it in the hibernate mode. Okay, otherwise if you shut down your PC every day means, you have to compulsory click on the shutdown icon. Again, next day morning if you want to open Pega, so you need to start this one startup, you have to click. So after that you need to click on the login. If you click on login, application will open in a browser. Okay, another thing is, in your system any browser if you want to set as a default browser, maybe some Chrome is there as a default in your system, suppose some other browser, actually Microsoft Edge will be fast for using this Pega application. Suppose if you want to set any browser as a default, first time one time setting, right click on this, open with. In your system, what are the list of browsers? See how it will show all the list of browsers. So in my system I'm using Microsoft Edge. Okay, latest version. And then just select this checkbox, always use this app. So your application, next time if you directly login icon, if you click, so it is going to open in the Microsoft Edge browser. Okay, so earlier if any other browser if you're using, if you want to set any browser as a default means, you can just do this setting. So from next time when you click on login, it will automatically open in the, what is the, if what is the browser you set, it is going to display the application, that is application will open in that browser. Okay, so like that you can complete the installation process. So once again, who joined late, quickly I'll review. So these are the requirements which are given in the document. So before starting this installation setup, just go through these points once again. And these are the things get installed when you install this Pega platform. So this Java database server and PRPC. And I'll be sharing a file immediately, maybe today, end of the day, or tomorrow, maximum you'll be getting. So you can install in the weekend, no hurry. By Monday or Tuesday, you can complete the installation. There is no hurry. So once we open the extract the folder, so actually copy the file to some directory in your system. So without copying to directory, if you do means, it may not install. Okay, so make sure you copy to some directory where space is there, then open the file and you have to click on install, and you'll get a wizard will open, and in that wizard follow the screens. So continue. Actually, you need no need to change anything except the check the port configuration, or if you want to change the drive path, just these two things only. If you that too not mandatory. So if you want to go with a C drive, so you keep that one and check the port configuration once the screen is displayed. So check the port availability. The both the port numbers must be available. If not available, change the numbers. Then just click on start button. The setup will complete automatically. And once the setup is completed, you'll automatically server platform will start and the login screen also will be getting. So if you get this means you can conclude that installation is successfully completed, or by seeing this message also you can confirm rule based load complete. If you get as a message, then installation will be success. In any case, if if you don't get that message like a rule base completed unsuccessfully means, then do the below process, uninstall again, and again you have to reinstall. And for uninstalling, shut down the server, delete the folder, again restart the system and try the steps correctly next time. Okay, so any questions in this? So first, that is the installation process. So any questions? So this you can do by yourselves. Once I share the file, you can just start downloading, and you can complete that setup process. Okay, in the real time, this is not your task. Don't worry. Similar process will be done in the real time too, but it is not your role in the real time. Okay, some lead architects will be doing, or any who has knowledge on that, or who has actually their also process is simple same way. Only thing is their database and server selection choice will be there, but here we don't get a choice to select the database and server, but in the enterprise server they'll get a choice to choose database and server. Okay, apart from that process maybe it may take some more time, but procedure is common. Okay, so apart from that, once this installation is completed, we need to do some configuration called localhost configuration, or we can say pgadmin4 configuration. Okay, so that after installation we have to do, and if you are doing that means your platform must be running. So your startup platform must be running in the background. See, whenever you are using any Pega option, any Pega pgadmin for what I said, if you are using that means, so in the background, even if you want to open application also, it will be running in the background. So just minimize that and just it will be running in the backend. Now, what is that pgadmin for configuration or localhost configuration? I'm going to discuss now. See, after your installation, what you will do means, so go to the folder, this PRPC personalization folder is created in your drive, right? So open that and go to the path which I'm showing. So in this, go to PJScale. Under this, you'll be having a folder pgadmin4, and under that you'll have a folder called bin, and under that you can find a file called pgadmin4 file. Okay, see in the desktop already three icons are created as a shortcut. So actually, if you want to open this pgadmin4, what I said rule base or pgadmin4, if you want to open this every time, it is difficult to come to this path. So what we can do means, first time when you open, so you can add a shortcut for this in the desktop. Okay, for this file, add a desktop shortcut. So I think you know that. So if you right click on that and just send to, will be having this option desktop create shortcut. If you select this, automatically shortcut will be created. Okay, and excuse me. So after this shortcut is created, so once the same thing I'll discuss in document. So you'll get this this is called whatever we are going to configure, but purpose of this you'll understand after 2-3 classes. Don't worry about the purpose of this now. So just to do the setup what I'm going to discuss. See, after your installation is completed, so this configuration is called as rule base or pgadmin4 or localhost configuration. So if you want to do this means your platform should be running. Okay, if it is not started in your system means, so make sure you start that and minimize that window. Then after that, what are the path I showed? So go to that path and you can see a file pgadmin4 and add a shortcut for that in the desktop. Okay, add a desktop shortcut. Then after adding the shortcut, Okay, in my system already it is there. See, in your systems, in maximum 90% of the systems, if you when you try to open this file, so you may get one error called Microsoft system error you'll be getting. Okay, most of the in your systems, in my system already some patch is installed. So in your systems initially when you try to open for the first time, so you'll be getting some Microsoft error, and mostly the error will be this one or any other error you may get, but most of them will be getting this error, msvlcpl20.dll, maybe some similar to that, maybe this one or more than like 2 to 3 pop-ups like this system error you may get, but mostly they'll be getting this error compulsory they'll be getting. Okay, so that is common issue. Some Microsoft plugin is required, that is some patch is required. After you, if you get this error means you need to install some patch. So I have given a link below. See that patch link is given below. Okay, so if you get this error means so compulsory see how to install this patch, just a small file only. Open this link in a some browser, and if you open that, so it will navigate to this page, and where in this we will be having some 2 to 3 files, but select the file which is in the screenshot. I have selected some option, right? Select that and just download and install that one. Okay, or download and run that patch. So after you execute that or run that patch, so then again if you click on that pgadmin4, that will be resolved. So anybody when you try to open this icon, so in most systems compulsory or most of the cases they may face this error, they may get this error. If you're getting means the patch link is given in the same document below. So if you open that in a browser and just download that file and run that patch, automatically the issue will be resolved. Okay, actually here I have given restart system, that is not mandatory. After you install and run the patch, then just click on this pgadmin4 again, then it will open like this. Okay, so this in my system you can see what is the window open. So it will open and display like this. Okay, so once it is open, so then sometimes when you try to open, you may get some like a fail to connect something you'll be getting. Suppose if you get like this means here retry link is there. Retry and check for few seconds. If still it is not displaying or not opening anything, close the window and once again click on pgadmin4 icon. Sometimes this is not an error, but sometimes it is unable to connect to the that particular server window. So if you are getting message like this, close the window and once again click on the icon again. Okay, okay, error means that is above error is system error, but if you get the below warning, it's not a error, again you'll think as error. Below alert or warning, so if you get any alert like this, so retry, and after retry it will sometimes it will connect, still it is not displaying after a few seconds means close the window and once again retry that one. So then it will open the window like this. Okay, so in this window just I'm going to do some local host configuration we have to do. And but what is the purpose and what will be there in this rule base? So what are the, actually in this some rule based tables will be there, pega rule based tables will be calling. So that you'll understand after some 3 4 classes, you'll understand. Okay, when I discuss about these work object flow execution, at that time I'm going to discuss this more about this. As of now, just to do the configuration which I'm showing, that's it. No need to worry about the purpose of this now. See in these servers, okay, you'll be getting this thing right now. In my system already the connection is set up, but I'm going to show the process. So if you right click on these servers and click on this option server, so here we need to give a basic details like we need to give the path as localhost, give it in lowercase compulsory. Then in the connection tab, go to connection tab. So there also we need to give the path as localhost. And then here you will be automatically in your system what is the database port and what is the database name, username, and everything you'll be getting automatically. So from where it will take means from the server it is going to take this information. Suppose if you want to see also, we can view that where that information will be there. I'll show you once. For example, so inside the server that information will be there, right? If you go to the Tomcat, If you go to this config folder, you will be having a file context file. Okay, so open it in notepad format. This you can open with a notepad format. In that you will get all this information where it is loaded automatically. So in this file, that all that information will be there, localhost and every information. So here up to the username all the details are taken. Only thing is we need to give the password manually. Here password is also PostgreSQL. So in that connection, so what we need to enter is password I need to give. So password is also PostgreSQL, and enable these checkbox ones. So if you enable, from next time no need to again every time no need to enter the password manually. So if you once enter the password and enable the checkbox, so then this connection will be permanently established. That is database and server connection will be permanently established. And if you click on save button, so it will be, you can see some name, connection name we have given as localhost, right? So that will display under your server, and under that you can see your database name. See, if you don't do also, we can work on the application, guys. Okay, but any physical tables if you want to check in your platform, then only we need to create this connection. Okay, suppose in your system actually some any windows, some versions like 1 to 2% systems, they are unable to create this connection, maybe due to some other reason, some server issue or some windows issue. So mostly you can create, no issue, without any issue you can create. But if you are unable to create also, no problem. Okay, but if you are able to do this means, if you are able to open this pgadmin4, and if you are able to see this window, then try to create these connection. Okay, then you have to click on save. After this save password checkbox is enabled, click on save. Okay, then in my system already it is there, so I'm not clicking on save. So after you click on save, you can see this local host. Suppose if you see no connection, double click on that, it will be, if you double click on that, automatically it will be established. You will be getting like this. Then under that you can see your databases, Postgres. If I expand that, you can see. Okay, here other things and all you will understand later. Some schemas will be there. So under the schemas you have to go to data, and here you'll be having something called tables. Rule based tables will be there, but don't worry, now I'm not discussing more about this. Just create this connection. In the future we will be understanding just some rule based tables will be created automatically. So what are the different categories and what is their purpose and difference, that only we'll understand. Apart from that, we are not going to add anything manually here. Okay, so only just to view the data which is created in the server, with any physical data if you want to check, only for that purpose we created this connection. Otherwise, without this configuration also we can work on the platform directly. Okay, so but once your installation is done, do this. It will help you in some interview questions and all. It will, this process will help. Okay, so that is about this installation and server configuration. So yeah, I'll be sharing the setup. Once I share, you can just try this installation in your systems. Okay, so it will not take maybe maximum it will be taking 1 hour time once you do this configuration. And after starting, so within 1 hour we can you can complete this setup. Okay, so mostly you don't get any errors. Okay, so just check this configuration, system configuration, and do it properly. So it will complete easily, only it will complete. Okay, tomorrow also I'm going to take a session. So tomorrow I'll be discussing like a portal, what is a portal, and I'll also show you how to add a new application in the portal. Okay, so that is how to start a new project in the portal. Okay, so that I'm going to continue in the next session, because today some are unable to join. So that's what I'll continue the new topic in the next session. I'll continue. Okay, so any questions? Any questions?